This month, Jace asked to be in the video. He's a little shyer than the other guy is, but he wants to be in the video, so he's in it. We want to start off by thanking you guys for praying for this little fella. We're still waiting to hear back from Duke and with his referral and stuff, and Charlie's been on the phone waiting on phone calls to be returned, but just keep praying. God's got a plan there, and he's going to work all that out, and he's got the details in his hands. So we just wait for it to unfold, and we just thank you for your prayers for him. And with the colder weather comes a little more discomfort for him, but all in all, you're a blessed kid, ain't you? See, he talks a lot. Anyway, I want to talk to you this month about what we got done. It's been a busy month. God had a lot planned, and I've read some devotions and did some studies, and I've heard some pastors that say God has an outline for your life. That's his plan for you, is an outline, and we fill in the details, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I think he's very detail oriented and has a plan from what I read in the Word. He gives us free will. They describe that as where free will comes in, but I think our free will is to follow that detailed plan that he has, or to come up with our own, and trying to do it on our own, which is what we try to do a lot of times. But I think he had a very detailed plan for us this month, and the Bible tells me in Jeremiah, I think it's 1:5, that God was talking to Jeremiah, and he told him that he formed him in the womb and set him apart from others to make him a prophet of nations. And that sounds pretty detailed right there, and ahead of time. So he knew what was going on. So this month we were able to rent an excavator because a very good brother in Christ, reached out and asked what was our biggest need, not knowing that he's just gonna pray for our needs or what, And well, he ended up sending us what it costs to rent an excavator, because I said, well, we'd been up to Michigan, and me and Charlie had worried about Mr. Frank being here volunteering and didn't have anywhere to get out. There was a storm system coming, didn't have a place to get out of a tornado if there was an alarm for one, and we have them bad here, so hundreds a year. So we were worried that he needed somewhere to go, and it's a long ways to the fire station. You don't want to be on the road and something like that. So we said, we need to get somewhere before we do much more building. We need somewhere for the volunteers and for our family to get us safe, a bunker or something, And we checked on these shelters, and they're expensive, and there's no better place than in the ground. So we said, well, we need an excavator to dig a pit that we can build a storm shelter in later and get that started, get that rolling. And then we got winter coming, and water line's been on top of the ground for 3 years here or whatever, so we need to get the main lines buried, so we don't have to, that's one less thing we have to deal with, make our lives a little better, and the volunteers' lives better, because you have one here in the winter and the water freezes up, they're roughing it sure enough, and it's rough enough camping here with us as it is. So he said, no problem. And then that inspired some other funds that matched his the rent for a week, and we were able to, just by doubling that money, we were able to get for a full month. So we ended up getting some land cleared. So we got a big chunk of the land cleared, and brush piles piled up to be burned. And there was an old house that was falling down. It was an eyesore right at the main gate that didn't speak much for what we were doing here. We were able to demolish it and pile it up and burn it. So that was a blessing. And it was all part of the plan, the detailed plan. Well, another part of that plan, all that metal we got from Michigan, we had an abundance of it. And I was like, what am I going to do with this extra metal? And I was like, well, when the camp's done, I can put a roof on a widow's house, do something good with it, something for God with it. He's got there's something in his store. I knew that. It wasn't just wasted metal. So this couple that we follow on Facebook, that's in ministry, and they're in Missouri, building a vocational school that's going to teach a skill and Christ to kids there in this little small town area that's rural and really needs an outreach like this. They're building this school about, I'd say maybe a year or so ago, probably longer. God gave them this vision to do this, and they had this detailed drawing that with colors and all on it that they came up with to show people what they were doing. I never really paid that much attention, but I knew they were building a school, and I follow them, and it's just a blessing watching what they're doing, and to see other people that are kind of crazy like we are, So we're following them. When I get back, I'm looking, and they're looking for roof truss. I don't have roof truss or nothing, but that, you know, I'm just like, well, they'll be putting up, because I know how God works. He's fixing to give them roof truss. I'm like, well, the next time I'm gonna look and they're gonna be putting a roof on this thing. And it just clicks. That's why God put this extra metal in your thoughts and your heart. There's something you do with it. Well, so I reached out to the guy that gifted it to us, and I said, are you all right with me sharing some of this abundance? And he said, absolutely, that'll be a blessing to me as well. And if you need more, come back and we'll get you some more. We got more metal you can get this week if you need it. I said, no, thank you. I'm not coming to Michigan this week. But anyway, so I reached out to the couple, and I said, do y'all need metal for the roof? Would you like to have it? And they said, sure, but we can't, you know, getting it is so far away from Alabama, because it's like a 5-hour trip. And I'm like, well, it's already in a trailer loaded. All I got to do is connect it to my truck. And they said, well, that's a long ways and a lot of gas. I said, well, God will provide the gas. He's provided the metal, he's gonna provide the gas. Well, my wife comes up with the exact dollar amount of cash that she'd been toting around that somebody had gifted. Didn't know what it was for, what it was gonna be used for. There it was, almost to the penny, what I had calculated the gas would be to go there and back. So we take a Saturday and we go across, how many states?
5.
5 states that we've been to. They wasn't new states, but him and Eli got to do the penny ministry again in 5 states. What were they?
Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Missouri.
So they got to pass out and leave behind some pennies for people in 5 states again, and they got to meet the family and see what they were doing, that couple, and what they were doing there with their ministry, which was pretty neat, because they have a good setup. We'll put some pictures in here of what's going on with them, and some links on our pages and stuff for people who want to follow them. But anyway, we were able to bless them, and God had it planned down to the color of the roof. If you look back at their plans, all our metal's gray, and they already had red metal for the siding, which was red long before they even started when they pulled in there. They have red siding for the building. Now they have a gray roof for the building, and they have it on. We'll put pictures. So that's awesome. God had all this all planned out down to the color, and we're just glad that we will be able to be a part of it. And we were able to do that because you guys' prayers and support, because that's what keeps us going. And we thank you again for everything that you do. God bless you all. We love you.
I love you, and I'll see you next time.